In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, dear friends and fellows, the human being of today, we all of us, even the rich people, the poor people, the educated and the uneducated people, the influential people and the commoners, none of them probably is genuinely satisfied with their life. None of us think that I am complete and I am living a life which I always wanted to live. Almost none of us. And if at all there is anyone else, then not necessarily this person is a rich or influential, rich or famous. Not at all. Because the human being, as for the life of human being concerned, it never becomes ideal at all because we are always struggling with certain items in our life, with certain items in our life to be removed. We are struggling to get rid of these items. At the same time, we are also struggling, working very hard to make things happen, to make certain things happen which we love, which we like so much. But it is a kind of struggle on both sides. It is a kind of struggle on both sides. On the one hand, the struggle to get rid of certain things, and on the other hand, the struggle to achieve certain other things, to make those things happen in our life on the other end. We people are working and working very hard, very smart. At least we are wishing. And mean we are so desperate to achieve whatever we want to achieve, whatever we want to get rid of. We are becoming impatient, and that is why it's not only with the poor, with the commoners. It does happen also with the rich people, with the influential people, with the famous people, with the so-called powerful people. It happens with each and every one of us without any sort of exception at all. And even those who are considered the most powerful, the most influential, the most famous, the most rich in the world today, talk to them, even they will be struggling to get rid of certain things from their life and struggling to achieve certain other things in their life. They are seen struggling, they are seen working hard. Dear friends, as a matter of fact, no matter how far we go, how much do we achieve, still a life never becomes complete. We never ever think that I have achieved whatever I wanted to achieve, I have done whatever I wanted to do. I have, I have freed myself from wherever I wanted to free myself. So this like things. Look at the Adolf Hitler. He was known as somebody very powerful, very despot, very, you know, cruel in implementing his agenda. But do you know that what was the end of his life? Once he felt like he has not achieved whatever he wanted to achieve, he committed suicide. He committed suicide. He didn't die a natural death at all. Look at the pharaohs. You know, they were considered as gods. The people, their countrymen, used to used to address them, had accepted them as God. What did happen to them? What did happen to the pharaohs, the lost pharaoh, who was encountering, facing Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam? You know, what did happen? That he died a miserable death. He was drowned in the water. And at the last moment, he said that, okay, I do accept the God of Moses. But maybe the time was gone. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't let the sea destroy his body, didn't allow the fishes to eat and consume his and the other his body. His body is still preserved, and it is for the sake of a lesson. It is a sort of lesson for the rest of the people in the world that you cannot, become that powerful that you will be able to achieve whatever you wanted to achieve. It is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and none other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. Now, if at all if this is the situation, then what a person should do? I think that we need to look upon the alternative ways. What are the alternative ways, by the way, to be a satisfied person, to be content with whatever is happening, whatever has been happening, whatever will happen in the future as well? I think that one thing which I heard from Javed Chaudhry, the famous writer, speaker, political analyst, he says that change your mind. He says that there is only one solution to your problems, and that one solution is change your mind. Change your mind. Changing of the mind is very, very, very important. And what is that change of the mind, by the way? I think that we need to shrink our agenda, and we need to keep shrinking our agenda happily and intentionally. Although we are always doing that, once our physical energy start declining, once we start losing our vigor, once our intentions become weak, automatically we start reducing the agenda, automatically we start making the compromises, and we keep reducing the agenda with the passage of time because we are feeling more and more and more weak. I think that is something which should have been done once we are once we are at the peak of our energies. Once we are at the peak of our energies, our agenda should have been that of the minimalism. By the way, there is another and the only ultimate solution of all that, and that is surrendering of one's will to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, trying to become a genuine slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, accepting whatever has been ordained, whatever has been ordered to us, whatever has been commanded to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and being content with that, and never willingly, happily, or intentionally negating the principles set forward by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, and then followed by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I think that we need to follow Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I believe that this is the only solution, and there is no other solution at all. There is no other solution of our troubles and problems at all. It does not mean that we should stop struggling. I think we should continue our struggle, but within the limits of the instructions given to us. And I think that it is far better, or maybe it is the only solution, if at all we set the destination right, we set the goals right. I think if at all our desires are within the parameters set forward by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and followed by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, I think that this is the only way. This is the only way, and nothing than that at all. Nothing than that at all. If only if at all we surrender our wills to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think this is the only way that we can succeed, we can become happy, we can become content, and we ever feel that if at all I am obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the very depth of my heart, I am quite a successful person, I will become quite a successful person because I always obeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and then of course, taking the companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, uh, the Khulafai Rashideen, taking them all as an example for us. I think this is the only way. In short, it is Allah's Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Allah's Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That is the only way that we can succeed, we can become happy, and we can be content with our life, because our vision has been quite developed in this sense that another life is going to be started, and that life will be unending one. And for that reason, I am preparing for that life of mine. So, this is the only way, if at all, we can become a content person. Thank you.